Part 88. Are you crazy? If you become the leader of the clan, all the clan members will become emperors. Author, greedy for the body but not FO. Chapter 871. Xiaoxian, what are you going to do? I advise you to be pragmatic. For some things, it's better not to seek death. Lei Kong's expression changed slightly, but didn't wait for him to react. Xiaoxian, who was not far away, slowly became illusory, and then disappeared from the same place. Shenfa. Lei Kong was also secretly surprised and quickly turned around, protect the body of the sky flame beast. But his reminder was still half a beat too late. He just finished speaking. Xiaoxian's figure appeared next to the body of the sky flame beast. The heavenly wolf sword slashed down, killing the heavenly flame beast, and the heavenly flame essence in the heavenly flame beast's body slowly emerged. Xiaoxian. You wanna die? See here. Lei Kong was also angry. Xiaoxian actually dared to kill the sky flame beast and snatch the sky flame essence in front of him and the entire Qinglei palace. If this allows Xiaoxian to succeed, isn't this equivalent to bringing the entire Qinglei palace into disrepute? But next, he was a little shocked. I saw that, facing the fist-sized Tianyan essence, Xiaoxian actually slashed at it with a sword. In front of everyone. This sky flame essence directly shattered into millions of light fragments and scattered towards the surroundings. Be bold. Xiaoxian, it seems that you are really tired of living. Lei Kong was angry. He wasn't just annoyed that his hands were moving too slowly. What's even more annoying is that Xiaoxian is really so bold. A good Tianyan beast essence was wasted by him. Court death. Come on, kill him. Lei Kong was furious and roared loudly, whoever kills Xiaoxian will be rewarded with an earth-level treasure. Earth-level treasure. This thing is almost as precious as a giant sky flame beast. Hearing that there was such a valuable thing as a reward, all the disciples were a little excited, even Qinglong had a warm look on his face. For the siege of these people. However, Xiaoxian also understood that if he wanted to confront him head-on at this moment, he would be seeking death. As long as he delays it long enough. Naturally, the heavenly flame giant beast will appear, and when the time comes, he can fish in troubled waters. Just as he was thinking about it, a water-blue power of the avenue appeared and enveloped his body. He took the lead to help him block the first wave of siege. Wu Bingqing. You really dare to join in any fun? Lei Kong turned around. Seeing Wu Bingqing not far away, using the power of the avenue to help Xiaoxian build a shield, his face was a little ugly. Qinglong, go and deal with Wu Bingqing. After Lei Kong said that, his body came straight to Xiaoxian with strong thunder and lightning power. Excuse me. I don't have time to play with you. Xiaoxian can feel it. Compared to Qinglong, the power of the great Dao on Lei Kong is indeed stronger, especially the cyan thunder and lightning on his body, which seems to have some strange mark and is very powerful. Although for these powers, Xiaoxian doesn't have much fear. But at this moment, there is obviously a better choice, and there is no need for him to confront Lei Kong head-on. Xiaoxian's figure flashed. The originally solid body, under the cover of the water, slowly disappeared again. Want to run? Do you really think that I, Lei Kong, am so easy to play with? Seeing that Xiaoxian was planning to repeat his old tricks, the power of thunder and lightning on Lei Kong condensed again. Under the shining light of thunder on the ground, lines of blue thunder and lightning fell from the sky, forming a huge thunder and lightning cage around Xiaoxian. From this prison, Xiaoxian looked quite embarrassed. Thunder cage. It's okay to tell you that you can't get out of such a powerful thunder and lightning cage without the power of the blue god realm. Seeing Xiaoxian trapped in a cage, Lei Kong's expression also softened slightly, but when he saw the Tianyan essence flying in the sky, his hands did not relax. Under his urging, The giant green thunder struck Xiaoxian's head like a goddess scattering flowers. Although there is a shield of blue water on Xiaoxian's body. But under the bombardment of huge thunder, the shield of water didn't last long before it dissipated instantly. At the same time, under King Glong's entanglement, Wu Bingqing no longer had the energy to help Xiaoxian, and he could only face the huge thunder in the sky alone. I saw the giant cyan thunder approaching. Xiaoxian's eyes were a little more curious. In fact, he was actually a little bit interested and wanted to see how powerful this Lei Kong was. After all, the lightning strike just now. This made him somewhat confused. He had his own understanding of the way of thunder and lightning. He really wanted to see whether it was Lei Kong's understanding of thunder and lightning that was better, or his understanding of thunder and lightning. Since absorbing the lightning energy in the thunder beads, it's like nothing happened. They are evenly matched. Lei Kong has always been the most powerful elite disciple in King Glei Hall. Except for a few monsters, no one is his opponent. You know, there is no doubt that Lei Kong is the strongest disciple of King Glei Palace. If he takes action personally, he should be able to take down Xiaoxian easily. This was definitely something he didn't expect. No matter from any angle, there is no doubt about his strength. Even if Qinglong stood in front of him, he would not take it seriously. Why today? In his opinion, 7 points of strength was enough to make Xiaoxian unbearable. Under such a strong contrast, it can be said that Xiaoxian has no chance of winning, so why would he risk the disapproval of the world and do such a risky thing? However, I didn't expect that Xiaoxian didn't react at all when faced with such power. He even took the initiative to resist. But this time, Xiaoxian did not dodge. Instead, he raised the heavenly wolf sword, and the powerful thunder and lightning Taoyun on his body suddenly appeared. At the same time, he disappeared into the lightning cage. He has used 7 points of his strength. In Lei Kong's opinion, these sects are not worth mentioning at all. It seemed like it was just for delaying. Cyan thunder and lightning appeared again. At most, the local sects of Mingzhou territory can be added. But they were surprised for a while. This time. But the next scene. The disciples of King Glei Palace present couldn't help but pay attention. It actually directly collided with the cyan lightning on Lei Kong's body. To know. As the chief disciple of King Glei Palace. After the scene happened, not to mention the other disciples of King Glei Palace, even Lei Kong was secretly surprised and looked at everything in front of him in disbelief. Judging from the strength of the enemy and ourselves, there are a group of disciples of King Glei Palace behind Lei Kong, and Wu Bingqing is beside Xiaoxian. You know, over the years, I saw cyan lightning and golden lightning colliding together. To actually meet an evenly matched person in a wild place like the Mingzhou territory. More importantly, he could feel that Xiaoxian's move just now also did not use all his strength. This couldn't help but arouse his interest. Are you crazy? If you become the leader of the clan, all the clan members will become emperors. Author, greedy for the body but not FO. Chapter 872. Xiaoxian. You have some strength, but if you think that you can defeat me with this strength, it's a bit ridiculous. Lei Kong sneered. Relative to Lei Kong's anger, Xiaoxian smiled instead. Although he was in a thunder and lightning prison, he was not too anxious. On the contrary, he still stood there with a smile on his face. As if really waiting for something. As for Wu Bingqing on the side, she and Qinglong also started fighting with real swords and guns. Although the situation was not advantageous, as they were both the first and second inner disciples of King Hua Academy, Qinglong could not do anything to her in a short time. Roar! Ho ho ho! Just when Lei Kong was about to continue attacking. From the waterhole in the distance, a violent roar of beasts suddenly came out. What made Lei Kong turn pale was. These beasts roared not once or twice, but in succession. They seemed to be a group of Tianyan beasts. Judging from the size of the sound, there must be giant beasts among this herd of sky flame beasts. In response, Xiao Xian also took a breath of air. He just deliberately released the heavenly flame essence just to attract the heavenly flame giant beast. But he didn't expect it. What he attracted this time was not a giant sky flame beast, but a group of sky flame giant beasts. This had to shock him. It seems that deep in the Tianyan pond, there is indeed more than just a giant sky flame beast. Sky flame beast herd. Be on guard. Lei Kong's expression also changed. The purpose of bringing so many people here this time was to find the spirit of the sky flame beast. Even though, this time in the Tianyan pond, the strength of their green thunder palace is indeed the strongest, but they have to be compared with the countless sky flame behemoths. Still far from it. Now, Xiao Xian had a disagreement and directly provoked the Tianyan beast group. Isn't this actively seeking death? To know. In a place like Tianyan Pond, because of the persistence of the power of Tianyan, the combat effectiveness of Tianyan beast can be greatly increased. A giant sky flaming beast. It is completely comparable to a cultivator who is strong in the blue god realm. Facing a giant sky flame beast, Lei Kong and others may still have the strength to resist, but if they face a group of them, they will have no choice but to run for their lives. But here's the thing. What is this place? Tianyanchi. You came to the lair of the Tianyan beast herd and killed their tribe. Now that you say you want to run, you have to try to see if you can run. Ho ho ho. Roar. A group of Tianyan giant beasts appeared. Soon Lei Kong and other King Glei Palace disciples were surrounded. Seeing so many giant sky flame beasts, Xiao Xian was really surprised. He didn't expect that there would be so many giant sky flame beasts in this Tianyan pond. Although at this moment, Lei Kong's pressure was far greater than his. But even so, he was still a little more curious and wanted to see what other angles he wanted to do next. Judging from the previous situation, Lei Kong is indeed a capable person. Regardless of the sex inheritance or his own strength, he can be regarded as a leader. At this moment, facing the dark crowd of sky flame beasts, he did not panic at all, but responded calmly. On the other hand, the Qinglong beside him was not so calm. After seeing these ferocious sky flame beasts, Qinglong gave up the fight with Wu Bingqing and hurried to Lei Kong's side. Judging from the expression on his face, he was obviously very frightened. Lei, senior brother Lei, there are so many sky flame beasts here, what should we do? Qinglong's voice was trembling. It doesn't matter. It's just a bunch of Tianyan beasts. These are just beasts that are beginning to gain intelligence. It is not difficult to kill them. Lei Kong's face was calm. However, he was also a little afraid in his heart. When he came, his master only hid the power of thunder and lightning in his body, which he had just used to kill the first giant sky flame beast. But now, faced with so many giant sky flame beasts, even he was a little at a loss and didn't know how to deal with it. But he also understood that as the leading disciple of King Glei Palace, he could not fall under any circumstances at this moment. Otherwise, these elite disciples of King Glei Palace will really be doomed. Xiao Xian, you are quite cruel. After provoking so many giant sky flame beasts, do you think you can fish in troubled waters like this? Lei Kong also came to his senses at this moment. Now he knew that Xiao Xian deliberately pierced the essence of the sky flame giant beast just now just to attract so many sky flame giant beasts. Therefore, he also hated Xiao Xian with itch. To this, Xiao Xian, on the other hand, looked indifferent. He can understand that it is obvious that even Lei Kong has no way to solve the dilemma in front of him now. This really made Lei Kong look gloomy. From his words, although he mentioned the word despicable, saw the thunder and lightning in the sky appear again. He can even block the thunder and lightning from the puppet thunder sect, But what does a mere thunder and lightning mean? What's the meaning? I don't have as many male disciples as senior brother Lei to help me. If I want to win, I can only use this, which seems to be a despicable method. Lei Kong also understood. Xiao Xian said with a smile. A path of fire. Their Qinglei Palace is the most powerful sect in the Tianyang Pond at the moment. Is it possible that they will still be looked down upon by Xiao Xian? Xiao Xian showed no fear in the face of these thunder and lightning. Lei Kong did not hesitate. A blue thunderbolt that was more than 10 times bigger than before appeared again and hit Xiao Xian directly on the head. The way of thunder. If Xiao Xian could still be allowed to walk out of Tianyang Pond safely, wouldn't this bring disrepute to the entire Qinglei Palace? Lei Kong's understanding of thunder and lightning is not as good as Lei Wanjun of the Blue God realm. Think of this. Ho ho ho. Ah ha ha ha. But anyone with a discerning eye can see that Xiao Xian didn't care about this matter at all. On the contrary, he looked like he was watching a joke. On the contrary, when he saw the thunder and lightning appearing in Lei Kong's hand, he did not dodge, but took the initiative to hit Lei Kong. Then looking for an opportunity to break out. Therefore, since even elite disciples like Lei Kong were so angry with him, it was enough to prove that his method was indeed effective. As if what happened next was so ridiculous. Behead Xiao Xian first. Being tricked by Xiao Xian today was already very embarrassing. Ashamed, ashamed. To some extent. Xiao Xian smiled instead. Relying on the thunder and lightning charm given to him by Lei Guangju, he also had his own understanding of thunder and lightning. In the depths of Tianyang Pond, they collided directly. There is a saying that goes like this. A red-black flame lotus condensed into one. It's really interesting. Wasn't the lesson I taught you last time enough? The crazier your enemies are, the more effective your methods are. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Are you crazy? If you become the leader of the clan, all the clan members will become emperors. Author, greedy for the body but not FO. Chapter 873. Boom. Crack. The power of thunder and fire collided together. There were two violent explosions. Xiao Xian and Lei Kong took a few steps back at the same time, and then looked at each other with a bit of surprise. Lei Kong originally thought. With the thunder and lightning cage on Xiao Xian. No matter how strong Xiao Xian is, it is absolutely impossible to break through to the Blue God realm. Who knew that now he was directly ignoring the thunder and lightning cage? It's like this thunder and lightning cage doesn't exist. Under such power. Maybe, the thunder and lightning cage he worked so hard to create didn't even last for a second. Is this true? To have such power. It also shows that you are extraordinary. Xiao Xian also nodded secretly. Through the fight just now, he did feel that the power of thunder and lightning in Lei Kong was indeed quite powerful. Although, there is still a bit of a gap between Lei Kong's and Lei Wanjun's. But Lei Wanjun is a strong man in the Blue God realm after all. It is not easy for Lei Kong, who is in the spiritual realm, to be able to do this. So. It's nothing more than a small amount of strength. Maybe it won't be able to get into the eyes of you elite disciples of Qinglei Palace. Xiao Xian is modest. In fact, for him, he doesn't care about these things at all. What kind of disciple of the elite, what kind of proud man, what kind of young talent? These names. Perhaps there is some role in the sect family that allows them to obtain more cultivation resources. But in actual combat, such a name has no effect at all. If nothing else, is it possible that your enemies will show mercy to you because of this reputation? Have to say. You are very powerful. If you can choose to join our Qinglei Palace now, your future will be bright. Lei Kong said. After hearing this, Xiao Xian almost laughed out loud. Before, when Lei Kong and Qinglong faced him, they looked fierce and evil, as if they could kill him in the next second. Now, he has just shown some strength. This Lei Kong has already changed his mind? Isn't this transformation somewhat simple? How? Brother Xiaoxian, aren't you willing to agree? The resources and strength of our Qinglei Palace are much stronger than your Qinghua Academy. As long as you can nod, it is not impossible to become a strong man in the Blue God Realm or even the Golden God Realm one day in the future. Seeing Xiaoxian's silence, Lei Kong thought that the latter was moved, so he continued, "Today, we are all surrounded by the giant sky flame beasts. Only if we cooperate can we get out of here. This, don't you, figure it out." Excuse me. I really didn't see this coming. I've heard a long time ago that the disciples of Qinglei Palace are so powerful that they shouldn't take them lightly, right? Xiaoxian looked teasing. Hear this. Lei Kong's face was somewhat ugly. You know, as one of the core disciples of Qinglei Palace. On the eastern wilderness continent, no matter where he went, the elders in those sects would always give him some face. Who knows today? To be treated like this by Xiaoxian? Once, he defeated old man Zhilong alone. Based on this record, all the major sects in Mingzhou territory were polite to him. Are you going to let Xiaoxian tease you like this today? So to say. Xiaoxian, you must go against our Qinglei Palace. If this is the case, I have to remind you that this is definitely not a good choice. Lei Kong was also a little annoyed. If you don't eat the toast, you will be fined with alcohol. This Xiaoxian didn't seem to want to give him any face. Whether it is a good choice or not, I have already chosen it, Xiao Xuanyuan said calmly. If you still have the heart to care about me, you might as well care about yourself. Look behind you, is there a little problem? You. Lei Kong was a little annoyed. However, faced with Xiaoxian's proactive reminder, he was also a little confused and couldn't help but turn around, but when he saw the situation behind him, he also felt a cold sweat on his back. He saw. In just a few breaths, there were actually 3 or 4 huge sky flame beasts gathered behind him. The huge figure of the sky flame beast was swimming around them like a spaceship that enveloped the world. There were also countless large and small sky flame beasts wandering around them. Looking at the number, there are hundreds of them at least. Not to mention, the strength of a giant sky flame beast far exceeds that of everyone present. Now, the appearance of so many giant sky flame beasts at the same time naturally shocked the disciples of Qinglei Palace present. At first, seeing the sky flame beast approaching, they were somewhat excited and took action one after another, killing some sky flame beasts. Wu Bingqing replied. What I didn't expect was. Xiaoxian actually made a face at her in the end. Of course there is a way, but, you may be a little wronged. You obtain the Tianyan essence in it. What are you going to do? Wu Bingqing had a black line on her face. How long has it been since this happened and you are still joking? The sky flame giant beast appeared. She also looked at Xiaoxian with strange eyes. I want to see what other reactions he has next. Reconnaissance of the sky flame giant beast? Are you planning to perform a golden cicada to escape its shell in front of so many sky flame beasts? Are you thinking too simply? And the dangers they have to face will become increasingly greater. In the Tianyan pond, my water should fit fairly well, and there are still some things that can be displayed. How is your movement? Xiaoxian changed the topic. The Tianyan beast herd appeared. Wu Bingqing also came to Xiaoxian's side with a serious face. It seems to have some effect. From this perspective, Wu Bingqing couldn't help but glared at Xiaoxian and whispered, don't tell me, there is nothing you can do about this. Who knew that this was Xiaoxian's method? But anyone with a discerning eye knows that the main reason why these sky flame beasts have not launched an attack for the time being is because of their cautious character. Now, what to do? Say it. Xiaoxian. But what happened next seemed a bit beyond their control. Seeing Xiaoxian still looked indifferent. Such means. Roughly the same. Then can you avoid the reconnaissance of the sky flame giant beast? Xiaoxian continued to ask. Seeing the herds of sky flame beasts swimming all over the sky, no matter how courageous they were, they would not dare to take action. Lei Kong was filled with anger in his heart, but in the end he had no choice but to instruct the disciples around him to deal with these sky flame beasts carefully. Wu Bingqing was stunned. She was still hoping that Xiaoxian could come up with any good ideas. These days, the flame beast will only launch an attack sooner or later. At the very least, they should take out a magical weapon or something, so that they still have hope of escaping. Are you crazy? If you become the leader of the clan, all the clan members will become emperors. Author, greedy for the body but not FO. Chapter 874. You. My body skills are not good. Wu Bingqing said angrily. Then I can only wrong you. Xiaoxian was not angry, but took the initiative to smile. What are you going to do? Wu Bingqing felt something was wrong. Look. We are now facing so many skyflame behemoths. With our strength, there is definitely no way to confront them head-on. Xiaoxian said seductively, in this case, we have no choice but to escape. Since your body skills are not good, I can only take you to escape. Hear these words. Xiaoxian had no other reaction. These words are considered normal. However, looking at the evil smile on Xiaoxian's face, she felt a little unnatural, and felt that something was not quite right about these things. Is it possible? What other bad plans does he have? What are you going to do? Wu Bingqing was secretly vigilant. Hold me tight, I will use the yin and yang stealth technique to take you away. Xiaoxian didn't even blink. I hear this. Wu Bingqing almost punched Xiaoxian in the face. She originally thought that Xiaoxian had worked so hard to lay the groundwork, so he should have some amazing spiritual energy magic weapon. In the end, let's not talk about winning in one move. He can also escape easily. Now it sounds like Xiaoxian is planning to use his body skills to escape? That's all. The movement technique this guy planned to use actually wanted to take advantage of her? How could she bear this? Ahem. I'm warning you, these giant sky-flaming beasts will turn their backs on you. It will be fine if you are swallowed by them. If you get injured accidentally, no matter how good-looking you are, you can't be considered a beauty if you have missing arms and legs, right? Not to mention, what a pity it would be if your beautiful face got scratched. Xiaoxian knows. I want to persuade a female practitioner. The best way is to tie it to appearance. After all, no woman cares about her appearance. As expected, after hearing Xiaoxian's persuasion, Wu Bingqing was obviously a little hesitant, with a bit of threat in his eyes. I advise you not to have bad thoughts, otherwise. My senior sister Wu. When has this been going on? Do you still have the time to think about this? Do you know that these powerful skyflame beasts may attack anytime and anywhere? When the time comes, you will be buried in the belly of the beast, don't regret it. Xiaoxian said patiently. Say it. Wu Bingqing's expression next to her also changed slightly. She did notice that the group of skyflame beasts surrounding everyone did have a feeling that they were about to move. It seems that I can't stand the loneliness anymore. Ho ho ho. Roar. Led by an extremely large skyflame beast. The Tianyan beast herd suddenly broke out and took the initiative to attack the disciples of King Glei Palace. The attack of a skyflame beast. For these elite disciples, there may not be much of a threat, but if thousands of skyflame beasts attack together, they were a bit overwhelmed. Among the heavenly flame beasts, the heavenly flame beasts of various sizes and shapes took the initiative to attack. Their claws, teeth, fins, and tails, all the parts of the ordinary heavenly flame beasts, turned out to be weapons of attack. What makes the disciples of King Glay Palace even more afraid is the three giant sky flame beasts did not stay aloof and attacked the crowd from three directions. Under such strong pressure, all the disciples no longer dare to think of underestimating the enemy. The power of the avenue was circulating all over the body, protecting the surroundings of the body. Colorful avenue winds appeared from all directions, killing the celestial flame beasts one after another. But the same thing is true under the siege of the giant sky flame beast. The disciples of King Glay Temple also suffered various casualties. Even Kong Dao was bitten by a giant sky flame beast on his arm, causing blood to flow freely. The sky flame beast seems to be extremely sensitive to blood. Once an injured disciple appears, several times or even dozens of times more sky flame beasts will immediately besiege him. Under such siege, Kong Dao swung his sword with all his strength and killed 5 or 6 sky flame beasts. But in the end, he still watched helplessly as the sky flame beast, which looked like a pack of wolves, began to bite his flesh. "Brother Qinglong, save me," Kong Dao yelled. But Qinglong was shocked when he saw Kong Dao's miserable condition, and a cold look flashed in his eyes. He can see it. After seeing the blood these days, the flame beast has gone completely crazy. Don't mention it, if he goes to rescue now, even if Lei Kong takes action, it will be difficult to have any effect. Think of this. Qinglong just had a livid face and said nothing. Seeing Qinglong like this, it can only continue to defeat. It has no impact on the overall situation of the battlefield. This waste is so soft. From a certain perspective, the Tianyan beast herd saw the blood and was afraid they would go crazy. There are also other disciples from King Glay Palace. Xiao Xian moved his hand. All I saw was that Wu Bingqing's pretty little face was a bit coquettish and shy, which made Xiao Xian a little moved. Within a few breaths, he was torn into pieces. Even other disciples did not dare to say anything about such a scene. On the contrary, the pressure on Lei Kong, Qinglong and others is increasing. Do not know why. After all, they had never helped other King Glay Temple disciples during the battle. Good. In the end, he did not dare to neglect, and quickly activated the yin-yang stealth technique on his body to the extreme, and then the two figures slowly disappeared in front of everyone. Suddenly an idea came into his mind. Let's go. With such power, it is still very difficult for ordinary people to provoke the sky flame beast herd. They were outnumbered to begin with, even though each of them had a good level of strength in the spiritual god realm. He was allowed to be torn into pieces by the heavenly flame beasts. Looking down again, Xiao Xian and Wu Bingqing left. Wu Bingqing's face was solemn and she hugged Xiao Xian directly. Now, facing the almost endless herd of sky flame beasts, they basically don't have much chance of winning. It seemed to feel that there were two people's auras just now, but why did they suddenly disappear? But facing the sky flame beasts who were much more numerous than them, a gust of fragrant wind came. At this time, a giant sky flame beast came over. But he received a powerful eye roll from Wu Bingqing. Xiao Xian was stunned for a moment, and then he felt a soft and warm body coming in. He subconsciously touched it with his two hands and placed them right on Wu Bingqing's waist. A living person. They can tell. The strength is also a bit stretched. Afterwards, the giant sky flame beast shook its head and left. Kong Dao also understood instantly. Although his face was full of reluctance, in the end, he still closed his eyes in despair. Are you crazy? If you become the leader of the clan, all the clan members will become emperors. Author, greedy for the body but not FO. Chapter 875. Brother Lei, what should we do? Looking at the appearance of these giant sky flame beasts, we are no match at all. Qinglong was a little anxious. At this moment, the dragon bloodline in his body has been fully stimulated. However, facing such a large number of Tianyan beasts, he could only try to support himself and ensure his own safety. Comparison. Mengfan next to him was already panting. Judging from his pale face, the power of the great Dao in him has been almost exhausted, and he may not be able to hold on for long. As for the other disciples of King Glai Hall, the same is true for each one. Basically they don't have much fighting power. Everyone's eyes. Basically, it was all placed on Lei Kong. After all, as far as the current situation is concerned, they are completely surrounded by the Tianyan beast herd. Only Lei Kong has a way to break the situation. At this moment, Lei Kong was more or less shocked, because he discovered that Xiao Xian was still in front of him just now. Disappeared out of thin air? Moreover, he still brought a living person like Wu Bingqing with him. Two people suddenly disappeared. It really made Lei Kong a little unbelievable. When he fought against Xiao Xian before, he only found that Xiao Xian actually had his own understanding of thunder and lightning. But what I didn't expect was, Xiao Xian actually has such magical movement skills. Even, can you lead a person away in front of a giant beast of sky flame? Is this body technique a bit too strong? How to say? Senior brother Lei Kong, are you going to show your trump card? Then he watched helplessly as Mengfan was swallowed by a huge beast of heavenly flames. Qinglong was really shocked when he saw this scene, and then said to Lei Kong with a solemn face, "Otherwise, I'm afraid we will all have to confess here." He said this. The people next to him also nodded secretly. Afterwards, everyone looked at Lei Kong with eager eyes. After all, what Qinglong said actually makes sense. At this moment, the entire King Glai Palace disciples are indeed facing a big problem. If Lei Kong is still hiding it, I'm afraid that the entire King Glai Palace disciples will be destroyed. Prepare. Deploy a thunderstorm array. Lei Kong gave the order. At the same time, the power of thunder and lightning on his body was reconcentrated, and green lightning gathered together, spreading like lines underground. Soon, a huge thunder and lightning array was formed on the spot. This, thunderstorm formation. On the hillside not far away. Watching Lei Kong summon the thunder and lightning formation, Wu Bingqing was also secretly speechless. I didn't expect that King Glai Palace would attach so much importance to this baptism of heavenly flames, even handing over the thunderstorm formation to Lei Kong. Do you know this formation? Xiao Xian asked lazily on the side. Certainly. Logically speaking, a disciple like Lei Kong is not that great a figure in King Glai Palace. Wu Bingqing said directly. Say it. Xiao Xian next to him had a strange face and looked at Wu Bingqing in disbelief. Are you telling the truth? Of course it's true. Do you think Lei Kong is really that powerful? He only dominates in our Mingzhou territory, and he is useless in other places. After hearing these words, Xiao Xian looked strange instead. What kind of statement is this? Judging from the people who have entered the baptism of Tianyan, Lei Kong is already considered a very strong person. Could it be that such a person cannot even be ranked in the King Glai Palace? This is a bit incredible. Is the competition in King Glai Palace too fierce, or are they too weak? Can't even compare to Lei Kong? For a while, Xiao Xian was somewhat helpless and could only shake his head and said, after a long period of trouble, carefully selected disciples like us are just ordinary people. Say it. Wu Bingqing next to her just smiled. Obviously, this can be regarded as acquiescence to Xiao Xian's statement. Regarding this, Xiao Xian naturally looked helpless, but in the end he just shook his head and said no more. He knows very well. The sky is big and the earth is big. There are many practitioners of all kinds. Naturally, strong people emerge in endlessly. But speaking of it, someone like Lei Kong could make Qinglong obey him without relying on his bloodline or secret skills. It was enough to prove his strength. But such a person, even in the King Glai Hall, you can't even be ranked first? Could it be said that in the Qinglai Palace, the elite disciples are actually so powerful? How strong should a true elite disciple of Qinglai Palace be? Looking at you, you seem a little unconvinced. She also understood that the fact that Xiao Xian could say such words was enough to prove that he really wanted to overtake in a corner and counterattack Lei Kong. Even Xiao Xian himself was secretly speechless. If there is none of these, in addition to having extraordinary talents and the quality of hard work, more importantly, I am afraid that there are also some opportunities and Suzuki that ordinary people do not have. Isn't this a bit shocking? For a while. Come to the Daodao continent. But in the end, there are only a few who can succeed, and those who can get some fame in the end are even rarer. Why can those proud men of heaven be superior to others? Isn't it just this chance that they rely on? Isn't this a normal thing? Of course. But placed in the entire Mingzhou territory, or even in the entire eastern wilderness continent, I'm afraid it won't be so dazzling. For these words, Wu Bingqing was also a little speechless. Of course, practicing a religion requires hard work, but who said there is no shortcut? Practice together. Who is a cultivator who has not worked hard to cultivate on his own, and finally managed to reach the right state of cultivation? Xiao Xian also became interested and explained, you said, isn't this baptism of heavenly flames an opportunity for ordinary disciples to counterattack? If they get the benefits of the baptism of heavenly flames, ordinary disciples might become powerful talents. Elite disciple. Xiao Xian was non-committal. Otherwise, the strongest person on the entire continent is the one who lives the longest, right? Therefore, Xiao Xian has always thought that. What's wrong? There are countless young disciples who want to counterattack every year. Geniuses from time immemorial. Perseverance in penance is necessary, but chance treasures are also necessary. Maybe Xiao Xian is considered a talented disciple in Qinghua Academy. Wu Bingqing was sensitive. After looking back and seeing the expression on Xiao Xian's face, she continued, is it possible that you have other ideas? Think of this. As the founding Yuanling, he was regarded as a figure like a great emperor on both continents, but he didn't expect it. But on this continent, what he said makes sense. He's still a little Karami. Thinking of this, he shook his head helplessly. It seems that the road is long and long. If you want to become stronger, you still have a long way to go. Wu Bingqing said matter-of-factly. You are listening to novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Are you crazy? If you become the leader of the clan, all the clan members will become emperors. Author, greedy for the body but not FO. Chapter 876. Have to say. You are indeed a person who makes me shine. But what I want to know is, what confidence do you have to be able to speak like this? Face the person in front of you. Wu Bingqing couldn't help but said, I have to say that your optimism still surprises me, but there are some things that are not affected by my optimism, right? Hear this. Xiao Xian just smiled slightly and was non-committal. He also knew very well that there was actually nothing wrong with what Wu Bingqing said. If you want to become a strong person, you must go through various difficulties and obstacles along the way. It is definitely not enough to have an optimistic attitude. But from a certain perspective, without an optimistic and positive attitude, there is no way to become a truly strong person. This is almost a sure thing. In this case, your purpose is just to compete for the power of these heavenly flames. On the other hand was Wu Bingqing. After hearing Xiao Xian's words, he savored them carefully for a while and heard something from them. Xiao Xian did not deny this. Yes, isn't it true that the people who come to participate in Tianyuan's baptism are all for Tianyuan's essence? That's true. But, depending on what you mean, do you plan to fight for the Tianyuan essence? Are you still fighting in front of these people? Wu Bingqing nodded secretly, and then looked at Xiaoxian with doubts. Did you know that any of these elite disciples from Qinglei Palace would be a well-known figure in the Mingzhou realm? If you provoke them, what else can you do? Is there any good fruit to eat? If you say this to others, maybe others are worried. However, if it is placed on Xiaoxian, it will not have such a good effect. I saw that Xiaoxian was still lying leisurely on the hillside, not taking Wu Bingqing's words to heart. For him. How about Qinglei Palace? What about Qinglei Palace? These sects may have some reputation on the great Dao continent. However, who can guarantee that one day in the future, such a sect will not be stepped on by him? Think of this. Xiaoxian just shook his head slightly, non-committal. On the other hand, Wu Bingqing next to her looked at Xiaoxian with doubts on her face, and she couldn't believe what he said. Is he really that capable? Just thinking. Not far away, a thunderstorm formation slowly formed in the sky. The power of Cyan thunder and lightning is condensed. The fierce power of thunder and lightning is intertwined with the power of flames existing in Tianyang Pond itself. Black thunder and red flames. Such a powerful avenue of power. As long as those sky flame beasts touch these thunder and lightning avenues, they will immediately be swept in by the power of black thunder and lightning, and their bodies will be shattered into pieces. Even some giant sky flame beasts did not dare to approach easily. See this scene. Xiaoxian was also a little surprised. He originally thought that as a cultivator of the great perfection of the spiritual God realm, Lei Kong could at most rely on the power of the great avenue in his body to form a defensive formation, and that was it. Who knows? How could the final condensed thunder and lightning formation be so powerful? Unexpectedly, even the powerful sky flame behemoth can be feared? Just rely on this. It is enough to prove that the power of this thunderstorm formation is indeed extraordinary, both in terms of power and effect. It is enough to make the Tianyang beast herd fearful. This made Xiaoxian look at him with admiration. At the same time, I also had doubts in my heart. Since Lei Kong has such a powerful formation, why didn't it be used earlier? Is it possible that you were hiding your secrets before? Doesn't that sound possible? After all, in the Tianyang Pond, Qinglei Palace is the strongest force on the surface, and basically no sect can threaten them. That being the case, what else is there to hide? Thunderstorm formation. It does look extraordinary. It is said that this formation will have the best effect when used during thunderstorms. Now it is a bit wasteful to use it inside Tianyang Pond. Wu Bingqing said, but despite this, the thunderstorm formation is still so powerful, it is enough to make people sigh. Xiaoxian also paid attention to this massive thunderstorm formation. He found that in this thunderstorm formation, the disciples of Qinglei Palace seemed to enjoy a considerable increase in their power. With the blessing of such power, some disciples who have reached the great perfection of the spiritual God realm even have signs and traces of another breakthrough in strength. This made Xiaoxian even more unbelievable. Before, he just thought that the thunderstorm formation was nothing more than a killing and fighting formation, but now it seemed that was not the case. When the thunderstorm array is in operation here, it can actually greatly enhance the power of the Dao in ordinary practitioners in the formation, which is equivalent to a Dao power enhancer. With such power, this also allows dozens of disciples who are in the great perfection of the spiritual God realm to temporarily increase their power to the blue God realm. This is definitely a scary thing. If there were just a few dozen practitioners of the spiritual God realm, Xiaoxian can also use yin-yang stealth technique and pure yang-wuji sword technique to deal with it, but if there are dozens of blue God realm, there was nothing he could do. Good thing he noticed. These Kang God realm are the same as the Feng Qing Yang he met before, they are just pseudo Kang God realm. Only the power of the blue God realm. But he doesn't have the soul perception of the blue God realm. If Xiaoxian is willing, he can still use yin-yang stealth technique to play around. Just by virtue of this, Xiao Xian can also have an absolute upper hand against them. So many disciples whose aura has reached the blue god realm. Is this the power of the thunderstorm formation? Seeing the strength of the disciples in the thunderstorm formation, Wu Bingqing was also secretly surprised. With such a powerful force, it seems that this should be the trump card of King Glay Palace. Maybe they can really defeat this group of sky flame beasts. It's still close. It's impossible for them to defeat the sky flame beast herd. After observing for a while, Xiao Xian gave the answer. You should be able to notice that although the auras of these disciples are much stronger, their souls are very weak. They are all in the Taixu middle stage or even the Taixu beginning stage. With such a divine soul state, it is completely impossible to fight against the Tianyan beast herd. They are even unable to exert the power of the blue god realm in their bodies. Is this really so? Wu Bingqing was stunned and a little confused in her heart. Why have I heard that there seem to be people above the blue god realm whose soul power is not strong? Xiao Xian nodded. This is possible, but only after entering the real realm of the soul will you know how weak the soul in the virtual realm is. Are you crazy? If you become the leader of the clan, all the clan members will become emperors. Author, greedy for the body but not FO. Chapter 877. The speaker has no intention. Listen with heart. Although Xiao Xian did not describe much, but Wu Bingqing, who was standing next to him, heard something was wrong. Reality. If she heard correctly, Xiao Xian actually said the word reality just now. After a long time of fuss, Xiao Xian's soul realm has reached its final state. She couldn't believe her ears. You know, for ordinary cultivators, if there is no special soul cultivation method, they can elevate their realm to the middle realm of Taixu. It's already pretty good. As for Wu Bingqing, she can rely on the power of her sect to raise her soul realm to the Taixu Empress realm. This realm is enough for her to be proud of others in the same realm. But now, listening to Xiao Xian's meaning, Xiao Xian has actually elevated himself to the real state. This made her a little bit unbelievable. Logically speaking, although Xiao Xian has some talent, but, after all, he didn't have enough time to practice, so how could he achieve this? Isn't this a joke? What you said is true, Wu Bingqing couldn't help but ask. What? Xiao Xian was stunned. Has your soul power really reached the real state? Wu Bingqing couldn't help but ask. If that's the case, then you are really capable. Not a very capable person. Xiao Xian only reacted and then continued, otherwise, we wouldn't be here. We can only watch helplessly as others besiege the sky flame beast. We can't do anything. This is what he said here. If I say it below, I am afraid that I will immediately be attacked by the anger of everyone in King Glay Palace. Joke. Do you think they are willing to besiege those powerful sky flame behemoths? Who doesn't know that each of those sky flame giant beasts are extremely ferocious existences? It's no big deal to reach the great perfection of the spiritual god realm in one mouthful. If you really want to fight, even with the help of the thunderstorm formation, the power of the great Dao in them has been greatly enhanced, and has even reached the Kangshen realm. But in the end, facing those sky flame beasts, no one dares to say that they are sure of victory. After all, no one wants to lose their life here. What are you going to do? It depends on what you mean. Could it be that you have other plans and plans? Wu Bingqing saw it. What Xiao Xian said just now seems to have another purpose in the end. This is a bit interesting. Now, they were forced to leave the center of the battlefield, and King Glay Temple had already used the thunderstorm formation and was strangling the sky flame beast. It is said that they have nothing to do at this time. Is it possible? Xiao Xian has other options. Indeed, maybe we still have the possibility to participate. Xiao Xian smiled. There are 3 giant beasts of heavenly flames, so the 2 of us have 1.5, wouldn't it be the baptism of 2 dragons? You have the ability to obtain the essence of the 3 giant beasts of heavenly flames. Wu Bingqing couldn't help but be stunned. Don't try. How do you know it's impossible? Xiao Xian smiled. Besides, judging from the situation of these people are not very strong. We may not have the chance to cause trouble. Make trouble? Making trouble in front of all the elite disciples of King Glay Palace. Have to say. This is a very dangerous thing. It might even cost them their lives. Have you thought about it? Isn't it a bit exaggerated to deal with 3 giant sky flame beasts with just 2 of us? Wu Bingqing couldn't help but ask. Nothing exaggerated. I have always believed that nothing is impossible in this world. Xiao Xian said directly, as long as you have hope, anything can be done. Everything can be done? Hear these 4 words. Wu Bingqing also trembled in her heart. She remembered that once upon a time, her master Lu Lianyi also said the same thing to her. If you want to stand at the top of the continent, first of all, you must have a heart that is proud of others. Once upon a time, Wu Bingqing also had such a strong heart. He finally became the 2nd disciple of the inner sect. Only later, she discovered that in Qinghua Academy and even in the entire Mingzhou domain, cultivators were getting stronger and stronger, and there were more and more talented disciples. The talent she was proud of before was nothing anymore. Therefore, a trace of doubt arose in her heart. Is it doubtful that her own talent is so poor that there is no possibility of her continuing to move forward on the path of cultivation? So recently, she has gradually slacked off in her practice. He has always been suppressed by Qing Long. Today, I was reminded by Xiao Xian. Instead, she felt that a long-lost warmth surged in her heart. It seemed that she should really improve her strength. Ever since I met Xiao Xian, Wu Bingqing also asked about him. She was surprised to find that Xiao Xian seemed to be a figure who emerged from the Mingzhou realm out of thin air. I couldn't find any information about him before. This actually made her a little confused. Now, Wu Bingqing felt this emerging passion from Xiao Xian's body, and her heart was also very excited. She seemed to be passionate again. In that case, what's your plan? Wu Bingqing asked directly. My physical skills are average now. If I want to enter the battlefield with you and snatch the Tianyan essence, it seems a bit difficult, right? Say it. Xiao Xian shook his head instead. To be honest, I can snatch the heavenly eye essence, but in the future, I will have to rely on you to escape from the Tianyan pond. You. Good. Since you can say that, then I am willing to risk my life to accompany you. As long as you can snatch the Tianyan essence, I can take action and take you out of the Tianyan pond. Wu Bingqing said. Hearing this, Xiao Xian felt equally determined. That's what he wanted to hear. He also knew that Wu Bingqing's water path would perform better in the Tianyan pond, which would not only greatly enhance his combat power, also has better movement speed. This means that Wu Bingqing does not have good body and combat skills. Otherwise, Wu Bingqing would be faster than him now. Good. Collaboration. Xiao Xian laughed. Then, he lay down on the hillside again. This time, Wu Bingqing was stunned again and looked at Xiao Xian with strange eyes. What are you talking about? Wu Bingqing couldn't help but said, they are fighting now, do you want to prepare something? Prepare. There's absolutely no need for that. Based on what I learned before, although the disciples of King Glay Palace are quite strong, they are not capable of defeating the giant sky flame beast. Xiao Xian shook his head. With their fighting speed, if they want to defeat the Skyflame giant beast, they won't be able to defeat the Skyflame giant beast in less than 10 days and a half. 10 days and a half month. Wu Bingqing looked strange. Do you really think that the Skyflame giant beast is a stone man? Stand still and wait for you to be beaten for 10 days and a half. Are you crazy? If you become the leader of the clan, all the clan members will become emperors. Author, greedy for the body but not FO. Chapter 878. Is everything you said true? I think the thunderstorm formation is quite powerful. Although it is a bit difficult to kill the 3 giant sky flame beasts, but it is not impossible, right? Wu Bingqing couldn't help but said. As she said this, she actually had some doubts in her heart. She could see that the thunderstorm formation had indeed greatly improved the strength of the disciples of King Glay Palace. At least, the strength of these disciples has been infinitely close to the Blue God realm. Under such circumstances, Lei Kong Qinglong, plus the disciples of King Glay Palace, they might not be able to fight against this group of sky flame beasts. But why can Xiao Xian be so sure? It seems that Lei Kong Qinglong and others are determined to be defeated. Isn't this a bit too absolute? Think of this. Wu Bingqing couldn't help but feel a little suspicious, and continued, Xiao Xian, tell me the truth. Why do you make such a judgment? Is it just based on intuition? At this moment, Xiao Xian, who was lying on the hillside, frowned. Intuition. Perhaps in the eyes of most practitioners, intuition is very unreliable, and few people would choose to trust intuition. But Xiao Xian understood. Intuition is sometimes more than just guessing. On the contrary, it is still a very well-founded inference. Not to mention anything else, let's just say that under the current situation, if it is an ordinary practitioner like Wu Bingqing, when seeing Lei Kong and Qinglong, plus a group of elite disciples who are infinitely close to the Blue God realm, the combined strength of these people may have the power to fight against the Tianyan beast herd. But it's a pity. These are all superficial phenomena, which look very powerful, but the actual effect is not very good. The Tianyan beast herd has lived in Tianyan Pond for many years. These monster beasts have rough skin and thick flesh, and their strength has reached about 5 stars in the Blue God realm. Although now, these monster beasts have not completely killed Lei Kong. But in Xiao Xian's opinion, it doesn't seem that difficult for the Tianyan beast herd to do this. As long as the right opportunity comes, the Tianyan beast herd will not be polite to them, fearing that the last move will be a killer move. What do you plan to do? If I remember correctly, you are not a person who gives in casually, are you? Wu Bingqing looked at Xiao Xian from the side and asked, if the Sky Flame Beast herd defeats the people of King Glay Palace, wouldn't it be a good thing for us? You're right. But what I'd rather say is, if they both lose, that's our chance. Xiao Xian smiled. After hearing this, Wu Bingqing couldn't help but frown slightly. She is not a fool, and she understands Xiao Xian's words naturally. But at this moment, facing the fierce Tianyan beast herd, can Lei Kong and the others really be able to withstand it? For this, she was somewhat doubtful. Under normal circumstances, the sky flame beasts are just monsters. Even if they have some intelligence, they are not at the point where they can compete with elite disciples like Lei Kong Qinglong. But Xiao Xian's judgment is, the Tianyan beast herd would actually harm both the disciples of King Glay Palace. Isn't this a bit weird? What's more, even if both sides really lose in the end, it's not that simple for them to get the Sky Eye essence from it, right? Now Wu Bingqing wants to ask Xiao Xian. Where did you get your confidence? Cough cough cough. Maybe some words sound simple, but it is a bit difficult to do. Can you really get the Tianyan essence so easily? Wu Bingqing couldn't help but ask. About this question, Xiao Xian did not answer directly, but smiled and continued, to be honest, in such a critical moment, it is normal for you to be a little skeptical, but I will use facts to prove that these things are normal. Normal? What's normal? After Xiao Xian said these words, Wu Bingqing felt a little baffled. As the second disciple of the inner sect in Qinghua Academy, she has some background and knowledge. But after hearing these words from Xiao Xian, She was still a little worried in her heart. Tianyang baptism is a grand event in Mingzhou territory. In the past, the sect leaders and elders of various sects were all very concerned about it. Now, with the existence of Qinglai Palace, this baptism of heavenly flames has become more and more important, and some practitioners who want to gain power will do anything to get the opportunity. Therefore, the baptism of Tianyang is naturally full of dangers. For the average person, it is naturally not easy to get the chance to be baptized by Tianyang. It requires more than just energy and hard work. Sometimes it's even your own life. Just rely on this. Without a deep background or strong strength, even the elite disciples in various sects would not dare to be too presumptuous in the Tianyang pond. As for arrogant disciples like Xiaoxian, it can be said, as the dean, Kang Long has always ignored this matter and adopted a laissez-faire attitude. Wu Bingqing came to Xiaoxian's side. What you want to say is, look at those giant sky flame beasts, they seem to be injured. That's what I'm curious about. Many of them were treated unfairly. Very bleak. This place is just the starting point for Xiaoxian to spread his wings in the future. On the contrary, because of this baptism of heavenly flame, the sect disciples who died in the mouth of the heavenly flame beast will definitely ask Qinghua Academy to give an explanation. Broken arms and limbs are just like garbage, thrown away casually. Not to mention, Xiaoxian is the spirit of creation. Sure enough, he saw that after the thunderstorm formation was activated, the battlefield quickly entered a white-hot state. How long are you going to wait at this place? Of course, this time, the sect that suffered the most deaths from the mouth of the sky flame beast was the sect. No one wants to become someone else's stepping stone. After hearing this, Xiaoxian was also stunned subconsciously and looked towards the battlefield not far away. He even blatantly favored his disciple Qinglong. It wasn't just him who was harmed. The survivors were also furious. Definitely a weirdo among weirdos. But the entire sect behind him. Based on what he has done, after the baptism of Tianyang this time, Qinghua Academy behind him may also be in trouble. Even, in the eyes of some people, what he did was simply seeking death. Such misbehavior in the Tianyang pond. On the contrary, he has been at Qinghua College for such a long time. These are all things that happened in front of Xiaoxian. Perhaps, he did rely on the quota in Qinghua College to enter Tianyang baptism, but this does not mean that he really has feelings for Qinghua College. He shoulders the fate of 2 continents, and the small stage of Qinghua College is definitely not his end. For Xiaoxian now, he didn't take the matter of Qinghua Academy to his heart at all. The corpses of sky flame beasts and human cultivators were everywhere. In his opinion. But what they don't know is, naturally, it is still Qinglai Palace. If it was just once or twice, maybe Xiaoxian could not care less, but if such things happened again and again, he had to pay attention to it. Don't say anything else. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Are you crazy? If you become the leader of the clan, all the clan members will become emperors. Author, greedy for the body but not FO. Chapter 879. What a tragic battlefield. Should we take action? Seeing the battlefield so miserable, Wu Bingqing couldn't bear it either. Although they and Qinglai Temple are nominal enemies, it can be seen that they are both human cultivators. These people were slaughtered by monsters. She's also a bit soft-hearted. Emotion. That's the big taboo in cultivation. Xiaoxian said suddenly. After hearing this, Wu Bingqing's face turned red. She secretly sympathized with some Qinglai Temple just now, but this was just a second thought in her heart, and it was actually noticed by Xiaoxian. This is a bit embarrassing. You know, Wu Bingqing's previous image in front of Xiaoxian was that of a cold goddess. When Xiaoxian said this, she was naturally a little embarrassed, but she frowned in embarrassment and turned back to Xiaoxian and said, "Could it be that you can just watch the disciples of King Glay Palace being killed by the sky flame beasts? So what? Think about it for a moment. If we are being chased by the Tianyan beasts now, will King Glay Palace rescue us?" Xiaoxian asked rhetorically. This time, Wu Bingqing was speechless. Indeed, not to mention that Qinglong has betrayed King Hua Academy and will not be polite to them, the leader of King Glay Palace like Lei Kong will not let them go easily. Moreover, such a precious sky flame beast spirit is right in front of you. It is impossible for King Glay Palace to take the initiative to take a piece of their pie. In this case, your purpose is to deal with the sky flame beast herd and King Glay Palace together. Wu Bingqing couldn't help but be a little surprised. She did know that Xiaoxian would probably not be merciful when doing things, but she thought that such a living person would be devoured by the sky flame beasts. She was somewhat hesitant. Boom! Thunderstorm, start. Just when Xiaoxian and Wu Bingqing were watching the excitement on the hillside. On the battlefield, Lei Kong took the initiative to activate the thunderstorm formation. The powerful power of thunder and lightning spread in the formation, continuously strengthening the disciples of King Glay Palace. Under such power, the strength of some King Glay Temple disciples has reached infinitely close to the Blue God realm. Under the siege of dozens of Kangshen realm experts, the Tianyan beast herd was obviously damaged. Some weak sky flame beasts will also be hit by the power of the avenue. Beaten to pieces. But after taking a few glances at the battlefield situation, Xiaoxian was not worried. Because he noticed. Among the heavenly flame beasts, the three most powerful heavenly flame beasts did not suffer any damage. Instead, they led the heavenly flame beasts to swim around the thunderstorm formation. It seems that he is looking for something. This surprised Xiaoxian secretly. He knew that when the sky flame beast became powerful enough, intelligence would appear, but he did not expect that the sky flame giant beast would have such high intelligence. Will you also take the initiative to look for flaws in the thunderstorm formation? He even ordered some low-level sky flame beasts to die in order to test the location of the flaw. To know. Want to break the thunderstorm formation? The most critical point is whether these three giant sky flame beasts can find the cover and weaknesses of this formation. If found, the Tianyan beast herd can even do this without any effort. Easily break through the formation. He. It seems that we really underestimated this herd of sky flame beasts before. Xiaoxian couldn't help but said, I didn't expect that the spiritual intelligence of the sky flame giant beast has evolved to such an extent. Then, if Lei Kong had no other means, today would be in danger. Wu Bingqing was also stunned and looked towards the battlefield. She was also an elite disciple of King Hua Academy, so she could naturally see things that Xiaoxian could see. Don't say anything else. She could tell at a glance. The sky flame giant beast acted like this, indeed to find a suitable attack direction. And if Lei Kong cannot find a way to kill the giant sky flame beast as soon as possible, then the disciples of the King Glay Palace under him will definitely be cannibalized step by step. All disciples obey orders. Prepare the 9 heavens blue thunder. In the middle of the battlefield, Lei Kong could also feel the strong pressure brought by the sky flame giant beasts to him. The reason why monsters are monsters is that they have strong and vigorous bloodline power, and this giant sky flame beast has the power of sky flame left by old man Tianyan, and is also blessed by the power of Tianyan Pool. Even if it is an ordinary sky flame beast, it is also stronger than the monsters in other places. 3 giant beasts of heavenly flame, in the shape of a pin character, surrounded the disciples of King Glay Palace. The roars of beasts that sounded from time to time made every King Glay Palace disciple tremble with fear. But at this moment, every disciple of King Glay Palace had a solemn expression on his face, trying his best to maintain a trace of clarity in his heart. 9 days of blue thunder. This is the untold secret of King Glay Palace. Only when the Qinglai Palace encounters a crisis of destruction, the sect master or the young sect master will use it. As for now, the Jushin Qinglai controlled by Lei Kong is just an imitation. Even so, the power of this nine heavens blue thunder should not be underestimated. At least it's not something that ordinary Kang Shen realm practitioners can resist. A blue thunder fell from the sky. It hit the leader of the giant sky flame beast directly. The sky flame giant beast is so keenly aware of danger. At this moment, its huge body is slightly arched in a defensive posture. The blue-black lightning was as thick as a child's arm. As fast as lightning, as powerful as a shooting star. It suddenly hit the back of a giant sky flame beast. The scales on the sky flame giant beast that were strong enough to resist fine iron were smashed to pieces in an instant. Under the impact of thunder and lightning and flesh and blood, the sky flame giant beast couldn't help but scream in agony. Blood flowed and flesh flew everywhere. A 9 sky blue thunder. It actually caused a huge sky flame beast to be seriously injured. At the same time, Xiao Xian also noticed that after using Jushin Qinglai once, the aura of the disciples of Qinglai Palace was obviously much weaker. Obviously using Jushin Qinglai consumes a lot of money for them. The other two giant sky flame beasts also reacted very quickly. After noticing that his companion was injured, he quickly attacked Lei Kong, opening his two bloody mouths and attacking simultaneously, one up and one down. See this? Xiao Xian couldn't help but his expression changed. The two giant heavenly flame beasts were equivalent to two 5-star masters of the Blue God realm. They are attacking at the same time. I am afraid that even if Dean Kanglong is here, he must deal with it carefully and not dare to confront them head-on. But he noticed. A trace of coldness flashed across Lei Kong's face, as if he had made some determination. His body flashed and he stood motionless. At the same time, the power of thunder and lightning surged throughout the thunderstorm formation. The cyan thunder and lightning became several times stronger in an instant. In an instant, he drained the power of blue thunder from the bodies of most of the disciples present, intending to confront the two giant sky flame beasts head-on. Is this Lei Kong dying? Wu Bingqing was shocked. What a smart man. I didn't expect that this guy had deployed such a large formation, and his final goal was here. Xiao Xian's eyes lit up and he suddenly smiled. Are you crazy? If you become the leader of the clan, all the clan members will become emperors. Author, greedy for the body but not FO. Chapter 880. What purpose? Is this Lei Kong planning to die together with the giant sky flame beast? Wu Bingqing didn't know why, she only saw Lei Kong standing at the eye of the formation, seeming to activate all the power of the thunderstorm formation, wanting to perish together with the remaining two giant sky flame beasts. According to your understanding, is this Lei Kong the kind of person who will die together? Xiao Xian shook his head slightly. This guy actually tried to trick the golden cicada into escaping its shell, but he tricked all the disciples of Qinglai Palace. Say it. Wu Bingqing's expression also changed slightly. She also understood what Xiao Xian meant in an instant. After hearing this, Lei Kong actually planned to use the power of the blue thunder in the thunderstorm formation to fight against the giant sky flame beast and escape on his own? Wouldn't this betray the entire disciples of Qinglai Palace? Wu Bingqing was also a little suspicious and quickly paid attention to the situation in the thunderstorm formation. Sure enough, I saw it. Thunder light shone in the thunderstorm formation, and blue-black thunder and lightning struck the two sky flame beasts like a heavy rain. Soon, the giant sky flame beast was struck with blood and flesh by lightning. Despite this, the two giant sky flame beasts still opened their big mouths and bit into Lei Kong, as if they were going to fight Lei Kong to the death. But the next second, the two giant sky flame beasts actually bit the whole thing. Lei Kong's body actually disappeared out of thin air, leaving only a shadow in place. Phantom after being attacked. Dissipate directly. But before the two giant sky flame beasts could react, the blue-black nine heavens green thunder gathered from the sky again and struck downwards. Because of the lack of formation eyes, Jushin Kingley became even more violent. The thick nine heavens blue thunder was like a goddess scattering flowers, constantly bombarding the group of skyflame beasts. Each bombardment will take away a large area of skyflame beast. Even the three most powerful skyflame beasts became a little anxious at this moment, trying hard to resist the thunder and lightning bombardment. As for the other disciples of Kingley Hall, he became even more panicked. The violent nine heavens blue thunder, without the guidance of Lei Kong, was now out of control. Scattered 9-day blue thunder fell from the sky. While killing various skyflame beasts, it also injured many disciples of Kingley sect. You must know that the energy source of these nine heavens green thunder is originally these Kingley Palace disciples. Lei Kong came and used a golden cicada to escape from its shell. Although he himself was safe, it was equivalent to betraying all the other disciples. 9-day blue thunder keeps falling. The disciples of Kingley Palace and the heavenly flame beasts were all destroyed, and casualties continued to appear. Wu Bingqing was also surprised by this scene. She also didn't expect Lei Kong to be so vicious. As soon as he takes action, he even betrayed his fellow disciples. The disciples of Kingley Palace reacted quickly and soon realized that they had been betrayed. They were preparing to escape. But at this time, because of their previous siege on the Tianyan Beast group, they had completely angered the Tianyan Beast group. Under the crazy attack of the Tianyan Beast herd, the disciples of Kingley Palace also panicked, and no longer cared about the thunderstorm formation. In order to save their lives, they hurriedly left the formation. After all, the current thunderstorm formation no longer has thunder and air control. Various nine heavens blue thunders have begun to attack indiscriminately. Not only were the Tianyan beasts attacked, but the disciples of Kingley Palace were not spared either. However, the disciples of Kingley Palace are planning to escape now. It is already a bit late, not to mention that the nine heavens Kingley keeps appearing in the sky. The Tianyan beast herd would not allow them to escape easily. Without the threat of the thunderstorm formation, these Kingley temple disciples were like fat meat dripping with red oil, delicious and delicious. The fierce skyflame beasts were like hungry wolves, hunting these Kingley temple disciples crazily. What a sinister means. Use your sect disciples to sacrifice in exchange for your own life. Xiao Xian couldn't help but said with disdain, Lei Kong is also a good trick. Initially, Wu Bingqing still didn't believe it, but when she watched the disciples of Kingley Palace being hunted by the skyflame beasts, she just realized it. Lei Kong actually betrayed the entire Kingley Palace disciples for himself. There is such a method. It's really interesting. However, even if Lei Kong escapes from the Tianyan Pond this time, he will probably become the sinner of the entire Kingley Palace, right? Xiao Xian shook his head slightly. Even so, he also understood in his heart. People like Lei Kong, who are selfish, may have long since lost all sense of propriety, justice, and shame in their hearts. In the future, he will also become his mortal enemy. Help! Help me! Who can save me? See this scene. It was he who inspired the dragon bloodline, and this bloodline was also something that the Skyflame beast liked. Therefore, there were a lot of Skyflame beasts besieging him. Or even die worse than Qinglong. Under such siege, Qinglong seems to be dead. If this is really the case, Xiao Xian really can't believe it. This made him secretly frightened. Qinglong naturally couldn't bear it. There was even a giant skyflame beast that actively attacked. However, even if you let them know, it won't change anything. He is also considered the strongest among the disciples of Kingley Palace. Not long after, his arm was bitten off by a skyflame beast, and blood flowed out. Then, he was thrown to the ground by several skyflame beasts and started biting him. For a while. Naturally, Xiao Xian didn't bother with anything, and just said casually, I don't know if Dean Kanglong would be very sad if he knew that the disciple he trained so hard died like this. Xiao Xian couldn't help but look back and glanced at Wu Bingqing beside him. So today, King Glong's death can only be said to be natural. Is that really the case? After hearing this, Wu Bingqing said nonchalantly, Qinglong is a damned person, isn't he? Wu Bingqing is only talking about Qinglong now. Xiao Xian was also secretly speechless. The only thing. Sadness is a given. Only then did he realize that there was no mercy in Wu Bingqing's eyes at this moment. Instead, there was a kind of hatred vented out. But success is also Xiao He, failure is also Xiao He. Qinglong, on the other hand, looks crazy. He has the blood of dragon himself and is the first disciple of the inner sect of King Hua Academy. In that case, according to what he had learned before, there didn't seem to be much hatred between Wu Bingqing and Qinglong. Could it be that just for such a reason, Wu Bingqing could hate Qinglong so much? It turned out that, in Wu Bingqing's view, Qinglong was already a person who deserved to die. Xiao Xian was also a little scared. Wu Bingqing had no intention of rescuing. In other words, Qinglong is her fiancé. If one day in the future, Wu Bingqing would treat him like this, wouldn't it mean that he would also die without a burial place? The center of the battlefield. To know